Alright, YouTubers, I am back. I'm Mr. Digital 45, and I said I'm going to redo this because I didn't like the way the video quality was last time, and this seems to be a little brighter. And first off, we got Nadine, we're going to do the ends, Jeff Bridges, and Kim Basinger, followed by The Naked Gun with Leslie Nielsen. Next up we got The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear. Next up we got Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult. Next up we got Narrow Margin with Gene Hackman. Next up we got Tommy Lee Jones and Nathan Hayes. Next up we got Nicolas Cage and National Treasure, followed by Nicolas Cage again and National Treasure 2. Next up we got Robert Redford in The Natural, the director's cut. Next up we got Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis in Natural Born Killers. Next up we got Charlie Sheen and Michael Biehn in Navy SEALs. Next up we got John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd in Neighbors. Next up we got The Never Ending Story, followed by its sequel, The Never Ending Story 2. Alright, next up we got Sean Connery as James Bond in his last outing as James Bond in Never Say Never Again, also with little Kim Basinger, young Kim Basinger, and Barbara Carrera. Next up we got Steve McQueen and Frank Sinatra in Never So Few. I'm a little tongue-tied today. Been like that all day. Next up we got Antonio Banderas and Rebecca De Mornay in Never Talk to Strangers. Followed by Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward in A New Kind of Love, on the couple movies they did together. Next up we got Colin Farrell in The New World, the extended cut. Next up we got Matthew McConaughey and The Newton Boys. Why does it seem so dark? I don't know. Next up we got Robert De Niro and Liza Minnelli in New York, New York. Next up we got Marilyn Monroe and Niagara. Next up we got Ben Stiller and Night at the Museum, followed by Ben Stiller and Night at the Museum 2, Battle of the Smithsonian. Then we got part 3, which is Night at the Museum, Secrets at the Tomb of the Tomb. That lettering is real small. I got my glasses on too. A Night at the Roxbury, Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan. There's the next one up. Follow one of my all-time favorites, A Nightmare Before Christmas. The 4K. Of course. Next up we got Night of the Animated Dead. Followed by Night of the Following Day. Marlon Brando. Next up we got Peter O'Toole and Omar Sharif and The Night of the Generals. Next up we got George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, the original classic. Next up we got Night of the Living Dead, the remake, directed by my brain went blank. Tom Savini. I don't know why my brain went blank. It went blank. But yep, very good remake. Next up we got Rachel Ward in Night School. Followed by Henry Winkler and Michael Keaton and Shelley Long in Night Shift. I love that art. That's great art. Directed by Ron Howard, by the way. Next up we got The Night Shifter. Next movie we got is Chrissy McNichol, Dennis Quaid, and Mark Hamill in The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. Next movie up is Night Train to Paris. Leslie Nielsen is actually in this movie, as you can see by that title right there. I don't know if it came into focus or not. Next up we got a movie called Ninja 3, which is the third film in the Ninja trilogies, which is have different titles. One's called Enter the Ninja and one's called Revenge of the Ninja. I looked it up this time, and the video I made before where I didn't like the way I didn't like it. Okay, Paul Newman, Nobody's Fool. This is our next movie. Followed by No Name on the Bullet, Audie Murphy. Next up we got Patrick Swayze in the TV miniseries North and South. I have the complete one of the movie. Found it at Walmart, by the way. Next up I got North Dallas 40, Nick Nolte, Mac Davis. Next up we got the movie North Shore. It's about surfing. Next up we got Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling in The Notebook. Alright, next up we got Martin Lawrence, Tim Robbins in Nothing to Lose. Maybe I gotta get a brighter light. Maybe that's what my problem is. Next up, we got Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman and No Strings Attached. And legs. Okay, next up we got Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant and Notting Hill. And followed by Laura Dern and Steve Martin and Novocaine. Next up we got The Nude Bomb, starring Don Adams as he reprises his role as Agent 86 from the TV show Get Smart, but they made a movie, a regular theater movie, by the way. It's called The Nude Bomb, of course. And last but not least, we got Nutty Professor 2, The Klumps, which I've been trying to find the first one to go with this. It's easy to find. It's just I haven't found the right price for me. Alright, don't forget to give that thumbs up and like and subscribe to this channel. If you like these videos, I will try to get more content as fast as I can. But until now, and right now I'm learning this new camera, so I'm trying to learn it very well because I got it for Christmas. I'm hoping the video quality will be better once I figure it out. Until next time, see ya.